What you're watching in front of you is Bitcoin holding on to this micro pattern, holding on to the price of 67,000. Still, on the other end, you have the Bitcoin dominance dropping. So money is moving rapidly into the altcoins. Remember, when you see exchange tokens like this, BNB, taking off, that gives you an idea of what the market is about to do. Last time we saw this, right? Now remember, this is not just now. Before all this started, we told you guys about this. Like, watch this. This is what's gonna most likely repeat. And we are now in that area. We are watching a lot of different assets running through, hitting our targets, a lot of them happening in front of us. We're watching a lot of them. That's one of the primary reasons why we go through and update you guys about it. Some of these assets has been slow for a few weeks and then boom, it goes through all of your targets just like that. So you need to understand, yeah, macro charts does matter. Here, it shows you that altcoins as a whole is about to start taking off. But what do you think XRP is going to do? Now, yes, always there is two-way up or down, but there is a catch in it for XRP. When you zoom in, this pattern as of now is showing a little bit of weakness. We did not manage to break this to the upside. What does that mean? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. While we go through this, understand that dominance, we talked about it. Even in the last 3-4 videos, we discussed about the possibility because it was showing the negative divergence. That was a huge indicator that it may push to the downside. Now, yes, this is a short-term chart, but the moment you slowly zoom out onto a medium to long-term chart, you get to see this. Wow, we're breaking back to the downside. That pattern did not hold, and this is what you're going to look for the next leg. So it can still continue to the downside to 52.5, which is great. Now, if it breaks that, yep, that's the real momentum phase for altcoin market. Dollar, it's already slowing down. It's giving us some breathing room, so the market is performing. Yes, XRP has not erased the recent correction completely. So we still want it to see something like this. Drop a little bit and then bounce back. Yes, it is true that assets like this have already erased those corrective moves. Ether has done that. It went back up to a new high. It's testing new highs, trying to reach that psychological level of $4,000 mark. And what do you think will actually happen at $4,000 mark? Because it's a psychological level 1. 2, there would be a lot of supply trying to enter into the market because that was like the highs of these ranges since 2021, which kind of gives you the clear idea that we may get a long volatility, long wick at this range, like of chopping both ends of levered trades, whether it's the bears, the bulls, it doesn't matter. You will get smacked, whooped by the market if you play with higher leverage at that range in an asset like this. So while Bitcoin shows you this, walk with Bitcoin. While the Bitcoin dominance shows you market is good for altcoins, great. Position yourself as much as possible to take benefit of next 3, 4, 5 weeks towards 2 months, 3 months. This is going to be life-changing. The moment you actually see something like this, you need to ask yourself, okay, what the hell just happened there? One, it is true that the negative divergence is now confirmed on a daily, right? Great, perfect. 2, it is also true that the monthly moving average to the price variation is now not small. It's actually decent bit. That means you're 120% up from the monthly moving average. This top, if you put, that was 150. Kind of something to look at. Then the RSI on the monthly is already at 75, 76. Keep that in mind. So So when people call for 200, 300, 500,000 towards 2025 end, keep these in mind. Now, when you go back and zoom in a little bit onto the Bitcoin side, you're now confused. Okay, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say it's going to drop from here? Now, for me, I would argue if there is a 22% drop, then okay, let's look for 75, 80, 90. But if not, say for example, the price just rallies to the upside, what do you think will happen next? Because the price action has already shown you the fact that it had this as a pattern, right? And we broke that to the upside. Perfect. Now your measured move goes to 75, 77 something. So if the price will, without a corrective move to the downside, goes to that level, then yeah, expect something really choppy. Really choppy. And it can be 30, 40% drop. This is not something out of the blue. We have seen those moves in the history. So even if it should go up, it may still do that. Even if it's consolidating, it will give you something like this. But you should have some concerns here. When you actually take a view of this landscape of Bitcoin, you have to ask something. Okay, someone sold here. Great, it went back up. Someone sold here. Someone sold here. What was the difference? This time around, it was so big of selling volume. You see that? Great. Now, one of the positive things you need to keep in mind is that as you zoom out, the volume is nowhere where you really want it to be. Say you zoom out, and you're like, whoa, there is something wrong in here. The volume which was there back in the market in 2021 and what we are looking at right now, it doesn't match up. So when you say there is ETFs buying a ton of these asset class, understand the volume compared to the last time is way lower. 1. 2, the moment you go on to the Bitcoin monthly on a macro horizon, this is what you're looking at. I mean, there is no manipulation. You just try and stay close to your bottoms of each cycles. That's easy. Now, if you want to put the same onto the top, again, that's going to be really cool because the moment you understand that this is declining at each top, the momentum is fading with each top. Now we are not really looking for something here, are you? Maybe you are. Maybe the most of people in the market are. But we have substantial amount of resistance here. Can we break through that? Yeah, maybe if the dollar fails, maybe 3-4 other currency fails, everyone adopts Bitcoin as a standard, maybe. But if not, do you really see that as a possibility? Now the question comes into XRP. Okay, with all that being said for Bitcoin, what do you think should happen in XRP? One of the bad thing with this asset is it is the last mover. So you need ultimate patience with this guy because on the market, you're watching a lot of these assets are running through, hitting your target, taking benefit of that. We're doing that, right? In our trade bag, we are already like 16x something up. And that's not a small number happening in like 4 months with consistent just trading. Now, if you are looking for these kind of calls to follow through, to get the targets, to know when there is a breakout, to know when the price is showing you an upside and all, and to also know when to take the profits, look at the Scientific Investor family. 1,000+ members and growing rapidly here in the SI family. The link to join that is in the description below in YouTube or in the bio on Twitter. And again, if you haven't smashed that like button, please consider doing that. Now, we'll jump back into the chart. Keep this in mind. When the price goes up, there would be a lot of FOMO. But when it's not going up, you don't even have an emotion. People don't even like this asset. And that's how it is. Historically speaking, for any asset, when it is the most hated by the market, when no one cares about that asset, watch the volume. If there is a change in volume, look what's happening. So for XRP, after a few months, we're starting to get the buying volume come back in. Yes, that's not a substantial increase compared to the history, but you need to understand most of that selling volume came in where? That's so big, right? That's so big, so bad with the SEC issue. Now, since then, did the price or the buyers or the bulls manage to buy back with that amount of buying volume? No, not yet. We haven't seen anything yet. That means we need to see something like that. Now, if you go back in history to put the argument, okay, this is 2017, we are looking for something like this. Yeah, we need increasing buying volume and that being respected in the price action. So yes, the price action is now starting to show you a bounce off from the moving average. The moving average itself on a monthly is showing you we are rounding back up. That's all good. But you still need another month or two for this guy to start moving. And when it does move, yeah, you're literally talking about like 2 or 3 months and done, right? It hasn't started yet. That's the trouble. So when you do put a monthly chart and you're on a macro horizon or a weekly chart, looking at the macro direction, yes, you are literally waiting for the money to enter. Now, it's not just XRP. Whether you go into XLM, whether you go into HBAR, the payment assets as a whole is like this. You're kind of getting the same scenario playing out in all of them. So the moment you start understanding that, yeah, the general market sentiment is of a lot of importance, and at the same time, segment-wise money movement is critical. So if you understand that, you're taking benefit of what's happening now. Remember, when we had the pop, I told any dip here for me is a buying opportunity, and we did that. And that's one of the reasons why in last couple of weeks, the trading bags just went up 3-4x. Now, that's not a small number. For some of you, it should be, it can be, but I think that's a decent ROI. And if you like to trade with me on my trades, when I start a call, when I sell it, when I start, when I skim, when I add, look at the Scientific Investor family. 1,000+ members are taking benefit of that. And right now we're going through a Ask for TA session where they all ask which assets they want to see. I go through them, I post them, what I think is happening on that asset. And if you're writing those, I'll also inform you where we hit these targets. So guys, that's it for today. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.